Hello, everyone. Thank you, Giano. I just want to confirm that you can hear me and you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so before we start, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Linda Mrad, and during this part of the webinar, we'll be introducing Microsoft 365 Copilot, which is the AI-powered future of work. So AI will help organizations escape the slow productivity routines and pave their ways through innovation. Microsoft is pushing organizations through AI innovation, and this is through years of dedicated research and deployment. Microsoft is committed to making sure that all its AI solutions are safe and reliable right from the beginning. Microsoft focuses on being trustworthy by large AI models and AI leaders across the world, just like OpenAI, which trusts in Microsoft's capabilities and shows Microsoft as a primary player in the field. Now, talking about Microsoft 365 Copilot, Microsoft has undergone a transformation from autopilot to copilot. And nowadays, thanks to advanced foundational models, and to new language interfaces, the AI has entered a new stage. Nowadays, jobs no longer have to be done automatically. The Copilot transformation acts like a helpful assistance alongside people, just like a Copilot. And by that, creating a fresh way for people to interact with computers. And this proves that natural language can be the most effective tool for work to be done. So we can build a fast future with AI, and this is because of the limitless capabilities that we have, the unleashed creativity and productivity. We have superior web resources. We have a fast threat detection and response. We can benefit from intelligent business lines. We have professional personalized meetings and no code dev for performing our work, where developers no longer have to work on writing developer codes from scratch. All can be done using the natural language. Microsoft 365 Copilot uses large language models and Microsoft Graph. And this is what we're going to be discussing during this slide. So, Microsoft Copilot from Microsoft 365 is a smart, intelligent AI tool which helps you with Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, and Teams. It uses the large language models along with Microsoft Graph Context and Microsoft 365 applications which you use on daily basis. And this integration creates a smart and reliable assistance which helps you boost your creativity, productivity, as well as skills. Microsoft Copilot is built on advanced large language models and includes trainable models like GP4, which helps understand, summarize, predict, and generate new responses. So, Microsoft Copilot is actually embedded in all Microsoft 365 applications from Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Teams, and Outlook. So when we talk about the accessing of data from content and context, Microsoft Copilot from Microsoft 365 links those large language models to your organizational information. It taps into your organizational data through the Microsoft Graph and extracts data from documents, emails, calendar, from the meetings, chats, as well as the contacts. It takes this content and blends it with your user's current context, which can also be extracted from ongoing meetings, recent email loops, as well as past chats, in order to create a precise and context aware response for your organization. So, Microsoft Copilot is actually built on Microsoft comprehensive approach towards security, privacy, compliance, and responsible AI. And here we're going to dig deeper into each one of them. Talking about security, Microsoft invests in over $1 billion per year when it comes to security. Microsoft has security built into every single service and product, and its comprehensive approach towards security makes sure to safeguard every single bit and piece of your data wherever it resides. When it comes to compliance, Microsoft is the most productive, is the number one's world productivity cloud, and it's the most compliant compared to all other clouds across the world. So Microsoft is committed to remain up to date when it comes to compliance. As for privacy, Microsoft believes that you, as partners or and your end customers, have the right to control your data. Your data is your data. So even if in the future you decide, for example, to leave any of the Microsoft services, you have the right to take your data with you and have it permanently deleted from Microsoft data center. Microsoft leaves zero standing administrative controls and zero standing administrative access to your data. And on top of that, Microsoft adopts responsible AI. You may ask, what is responsible AI? Responsible is AI is actually a set of practices which are used to guarantee ethical and legal AI. Microsoft adopts this approach in order to reduce the harm of AI and to make sure that AI is benefiting your individuals, communities, as well as societies. So Microsoft Copilot will take your organizations to a totally different level. It will help you unleash creativity, unlock productivity, as well as up-level your skills. So going with Copilot, you will be able to boost your creativity by conducting projects without having to start from scratch and start from the very beginning. It will help you increase your productivity because Copilot helps you generate responses, summarize responses, maybe set plans, which will save time and will avoid tasks that are required by your IT personnel or your staff. In addition to that, it will up-level your skills. With Copilot, you can enhance your current skills and be able to master new skills as well. So in the coming slides, we're gonna watch a series of interesting videos. We're gonna show you how Copilot is embedded into your applications when it comes to Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Outlook, Teams, as well as we're gonna talk about Microsoft Copilot in Loop and in Business Chat. So now we're gonna start with a Copilot in Word.
Linda, we just can't hear the audio of the video.
Okay, let me stop sharing and then share again to include the audio.
Everyone has had a moment when they wish that they could turn their proposal into a custom-ready presentation. Everyone has had a moment Everyone has had a moment when they wish that they could turn their proposal into a custom-ready presentation without having to start from scratch. Now you can. Using just your own words, Copilot can translate Word into PowerPoint. Now you have a professional-looking presentation that you can hone and polish. Let's say you want to add a slide. Give Copilot some quick instructions and it immediately generates it for you. There it goes. Copilot doesn't always get everything right, so it's important to verify you're happy with it and make any edits that are needed. So this slide is too wordy. You can ask Copilot to make it more visual, which it does effortlessly. And check this out. Copilot can even animate the slide. It gives it a professional design treatment in a single click. But it doesn't stop there. Copilot automatically generates speaker notes for all your slides. It's not only a time saver, it's helping you be a better presenter.
Yes, Linda, we can still see your screen.
Everyone has had a moment when they wish that they could turn their proposal into a customer-ready presentation without. Copilot puts all the rich capabilities of Excel at your fingertips. Say you need to analyze this quarter's sales results for the monthly business review. You start by asking Copilot to analyze the data and give you 3 key trends. Within seconds, you've got what you need, but you want to drill in. You ask Copilot a follow-up question about one of the trends. Copilot creates a new sheet, giving you a sandbox to play in, and helping you get a better understanding of what's happening without modifying the data in the original sheet. You ask Copilot to visualize what contributed to the decline in sales growth this period. Copilot adds a little color to make the problem jump off the page. Now you want to dig a little deeper and ask a follow-up question with a what-if scenario. Copilot not only answers your question, it creates a simple model of the scenario, and even asks you if you want to learn more about what it did with a step-by-step breakdown. Finally, you can ask it to create a graph of your projected model. Copilot has turned a sea of data into clear insights and actions.
Now we're going to jump to the most interesting video, which is Copilot in Outlook.
We all struggle with the pull of the inbox. Sometimes it keeps us from focusing on our most important work. But at the same time, you have important emails to respond to. Copilot can help you separate the signal from the noise and give you hours of time back. Copilot can help you triage your inbox, highlighting the most important emails to prioritize. And Copilot also helps you on the go in Outlook Mobile. It can summarize long email threads. You can draft a reply, use data from an Excel file, and Copilot will generate a reply for you. You can edit it. You can make it more concise, change the writing style, or add more context. Now all that's left to do is review the proposed response and hit send. It's a productivity game changer.
Another important application that we mainly use in our day-to-day lives, which is Microsoft Teams. So now we're going to watch this video about Copilot and Microsoft Teams.
Imagine you have an appointment that conflicts with your weekly business review. What if you could do both? With Copilot, you can opt to follow a meeting. After the meeting ends, Copilot will summarize what you missed. You'll get a notification in Teams when the recap is ready. This recap will highlight content that was shared, summarize notes, and any action items for you or others whose names were mentioned. You see that one of your customers was discussed, and you want to learn more. You can ask Copilot clarifying questions, and it provides a detailed response. It can tell you why a certain decision was made, and gives you helpful context. You can even ask Copilot what other solutions were considered, and it provides citations from the transcript so you can see where Copilot drew these conclusions. It's a huge time saver. So that was pretty cool. But the real magic of Copilot happens during a live meeting. Let's say you're in a meeting with your team. You can ask Copilot to summarize the meeting so far. You can see how it summarizes who said what points were made, and it's really capturing the spirit of the discussion. And as the meeting progresses, you can check in on where people stand. You can even ask Copilot what questions are unresolved. It's just amazing to see this happen in real time during a meeting.
So this is actually quite interesting. And now we're going to talk about Copilot in Chat and Microsoft Loop.
Copilot can help you stay on top of it all, summarizing Teams chats so you quickly see what you missed. Here you were asked for an update on the customer, and Copilot can help there too. You can simply ask Copilot to create a summary of all the customer conversations. It produces a summary with citations so that you can verify the details, refine it as needed, and post your update. You just received an invitation to brainstorm in a Loop workspace. Loop is a multiplayer collaboration canvas with Copilot as an AI peer along with everyone else. Here the team is collaborating in real time on product offers and pricing, adding notes and action items to keep everyone on track and up to date. You can ask Copilot to create a dataset from Excel on the top-selling products by category, and it will analyze and fetch the relevant data and compile it in a table. Since this is a Loop component, another member of your team can jump in and add a column for proposed discounts. Copilot even populates the data based on the specific instruction. Anyone can prompt Copilot to build on each other's ideas collaboratively, so that everyone can see from the prompt history how it arrived at the current state, with the option of undoing any instruction. Now you can close out the action item and get ready to meet with a customer.
So now we'll be moving to Copilot in Business Chat, which is the new feature in Copilot.
Introducing Business Chat, which can be accessed from Microsoft365.com, from Bing, or from right in Teams. Let's start with how it can help you prepare for a client meeting. You start by asking Copilot to summarize all your recent customer interactions, meetings, content you've shared, any issues and deliverables. Copilot works across your calendar, emails, chats, documents, and meetings to find all the pertinent information. It takes a moment to generate a response, and now you've got a concise summary, complete with citations and sources. You can hover over names to see their details, view quotes to validate where comments were discovered, and source files to verify information or find out more. Now you know product lead times are likely to come up, so you ask Copilot to help you prepare all the details. Copilot then combs through your documents, meetings, emails, PowerPoint files, and company resources to generate a thorough response. Copilot synthesizes everything you need so you can feel prepared for your meeting, saving you lots of time pulling this all together.
So now we'll be talking about Copilot in Business Chat strategies.
If you're working on your business strategy, you need to be able to pull together a bunch of information, and it could take you hours to find it all. Copilot can help you do that quickly with natural language. For example, you ask Copilot to pull up quarterly projections from an Excel sheet and identify any related risks. It scans through your Excel file and quickly produces a summary of the pertinent projections and also interprets key risks associated with the data. Now, you ask it to generate a SWOT analysis based on this information. Copilot creates a Loop component and categorizes the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in a single view so you can see what to prioritize. You can also share this component to collaborate with other colleagues. You notice one of the items is incorrect, so you can jump right in and change it. That looks good, so you ask Copilot to turn this SWOT analysis into a new slide for your upcoming executive review. Now it's creating and adding the slide, and then it gives you a preview so that you have confidence that the change was made and you can further refine it in PowerPoint.
And now we're going to watch this video about Copilot and for business status updates.
Whenever you need to update your team on developments from various events or meetings, Copilot can help with that too, ensuring that critical information keeps flowing. You start by requesting a summary of 2 meetings from earlier in the day. Copilot combs through your meeting transcripts and generates a draft that updates the team on critical decisions to keep everyone moving forward. Copilot provides citations to show you where the information came from. You can hover over them to get more detail. You spot some key information that Copilot missed that you think is important to share with the team. So you ask Copilot to add it. It scans through the meeting transcripts and regenerates the response to include the extra details. With your meeting recap ready, it's time to share. You jump to the Teams channel where you can refine your update and then share with the team. Copilot is a game changer for saving you time and helping you stay focused on what's most important.
This is really interesting because this video showcase how Copilot can actually help you in your day-to-day lives to make your life easier and increase your productivity. Now we'll be talking about the data and the permissions when talking about Copilot. We need to understand that prompts, responses, and the data within
Linda,
Copilot,
hi Linda.
with
I'm very sorry
yeah,
to
hi,
interrupt you. I raised my hand, but you didn't
yeah.
respond. I wrote you on the chat and you didn't respond. Can I ask questions now, or there's a Q&A session at the end?
Yeah, we're gonna finalize the session and have a Q&A at the end.
Okay, thank you. Please go ahead.
Okay, sure, no problem. Okay, so I was talking about the data and the permissions. Okay, so we need to understand something that the prompts, responses, as well as the data is not used to train the models, the core systems of Copilot. So the data that is exposed, your organizational data that will be exposed, it can only be shown to users that have view permissions, where Copilot stresses on the importance of having accurate access controls so that you don't have data exposed to users that shouldn't have access to it. This is very important. So, for example, if we have data that is encrypted, Copilot will only allow users having extractor as well as view permissions to access this data. So, not everyone will have access to your data. Your data will remain safe, compliant, and will have the privacy rules applied to it. So we always need to know where to start with Microsoft Copilot. How can we start with Microsoft Copilot? The most important thing to take into consideration is knowing that Copilot has to be added on a very strong base. So before you start with Copilot, you need to make sure that you have just enough access. So you don't have your data exposed to everyone in the organization. You should have limited access to your organizations. This is actually very important before starting with Microsoft Copilot. I'm going to give an example. For example, let's suppose we have SharePoint. There are simple steps that your organizations can perform in order to increase the security and the protection of your data. Just like in SharePoint Online, for example, if we go to active sites, in SharePoint Online. We select, for example, the sales and marketing active sites. We can go to membership, and in the site's members, instead of having it public, having everyone accessing the SharePoint sites, we can change it to private. This is a very small task that your organization, for example, can do in order to increase its security. This is very important because so having those small actions performed on your organization will increase your security. This will move the discussion to Microsoft Purview. Microsoft Purview, as we all know, is an important feature in Microsoft 365. Actually, it's a security suite, which adds additional layer of security. You need to take into consideration that Microsoft Purview can be integrated along with Microsoft Copilot to increase the security of your data, because Microsoft Copilot and Microsoft Purview will provide the best out of your business. Having information protection applied to your data will increase your security. We can apply sensitivity labels, for example, for Word documents and Outlook documents. We can have naming labels as well as content marking, and this is to increase the security, as I mentioned. By that, data will not leave your organization, and you don't have to worry about having your data being exposed to other organizations. So within Purview, we can benefit from classifiers such as budget classifiers, maybe customer complaint classifiers, etc. We can add labels, which are very important to add labels to our documents, whether they were private, public, general. We can have DLP policies applied to prevent the leakage of data outside your organization. And we can specify where do we want to apply those policies by setting the locations, whether we want to apply it to SharePoint Online, to Exchange Online, etc. And this is very important. These are the first steps that you need to take into consideration prior to starting with Copilot. And of course, we need to enable, edit the policies and enable notifications. We need to notify our users in order to educate them about the security that is being applied in our organizations. So if, for example, a user tries to send a document, let's suppose outside the organization, he has to be notified that he's sharing the document with the wrong person and that this document includes sensitive data. So now we're going to talk about the Microsoft Copilot admin guide. I guess this is the most important part for you guys. You are all wondering, how can we get started with Microsoft Copilot? Okay, Microsoft Copilot, you need to make sure that your tenant is ready for Copilot. We have a set of fundamental prerequisites for Microsoft Copilot, and this is, of course, having the right licensing models, using enterprise Microsoft 365 enterprise applications. We should have Entra ID accounts for our users. We should have OneDrive accounts. You should be able to we should be using the new Outlook and the new Teams to be able to use Microsoft Copilot. We should have the right licensing, as I mentioned. And when we talk about licensing, we need to understand that Microsoft Copilot is an add-on that you can purchase separately on top of the current licenses that you have. In order to benefit from Copilot, your organizations should have either Microsoft 365 E3 or E5 licenses. And in the business plans, you should have a Microsoft Business Standard or Business Premium. These are the minimum licensing requirements in order to be able to purchase the Microsoft 365 Copilot add-on on top of those licenses. And of course, at the end, we need to promote Copilot internally for our employees, and of course, externally as a partner to our end customers. And this is by showing our employees the added value of having Copilot and how to get started with Copilot. Now we're going to discuss the most frequently asked questions. I know you guys all have the same questions nowadays. All organizations are asking, how can we get started with Microsoft Copilot? How can we benefit from Microsoft Copilot? On top of the fundamental requirements that I already mentioned, which include having Entra ID accounts, using enterprise applications, having the correct licensing models, having a OneDrive account, as well as the new Outlook and the new Teams, you need to be aware that Microsoft Copilot can work for cloud tenants. So it's only for the cloud tenants right now and not for hybrid models. Microsoft Teams Premium is not required for you to benefit from Microsoft Copilot. It's not a required license. However, if your organization has Microsoft Teams Premium, it will maximize your experience, of course. Now, talking about the identity management solutions, some of you are asking if having a third-party identity management solution will enable us to benefit from Copilot. Here, I can say something that having Entra ID and its identity management solution is mandatory for you to benefit from Microsoft Copilot. So if you have a third-party identity management solution, for example, you can still benefit from Copilot if you have both hybrid identity management solutions in place. So Entra ID is mandatory for users to benefit from Microsoft 365 Copilot. And another thing that customers are always worried about is having their data exposed for the core systems of the AI models and having the systems being trained on their data. Here you need to be aware that your data is your data. Your data will not be exposed to the AI model core systems and will not the core systems will not be trained specifically on your data. Your data will only be essential for your organization. So the AI model will be trained on your data to help your organizations and your employees get the best out of your business. But your data will not be exposed to other organizations, taking into consideration that Microsoft adopts the privacy, security, and compliance approaches, and of course the responsible AI approach. So this is mainly what we were, what this part of the webinar actually will cover. So here we need to focus on one thing, that Microsoft Copilot is now available for you to boost your creativity, your productivity, as well as your skills, but taking into consideration that security, privacy, and compliance baselines and rules will always remain on top of any action that you will perform. So I hope you found the content beneficial, and please feel free to unmute yourself if you have any questions.
Linda, there are some questions in the chat
Yeah, if you
regarding,
can read
first
them
of
out.
all, yes. First of all, if we can share the video links, of course, we will share the presentation.
Yes, of course.
Does it support mixed language meetings? So Copilot for Teams, does it support mixed languages? So if someone is speaking in English and someone in Arabic in the same meeting.
Yes, exactly. This is one of the advantages of Copilot in Teams. So if we have multiple attendees attending the same meeting, for example, but they don't all speak the same language, if, for example, I'm speaking in Arabic, my speech can be translated, for example, to Chinese, and subtitles will be added to the meeting so that Chinese attendees can understand what I'm talking about. And this is one of the features that you can benefit from in Copilot for Teams.
Okay, and another question is regarding the integration with non-Microsoft systems. Can we integrate these Copilots with non-Microsoft systems?
We can have plugins. Actually, Microsoft has lots of plugins which you can integrate with Copilot so that you can benefit from third-party systems. There's a wide range of plugins. Of course, I can, along with this presentation and the videos, I can share with you insights and additional documentations on how you can integrate those plugins, how you can actually deploy those plugins and have Copilot integrated with your third-party systems.
Okay, and you mentioned about the prerequisites and about personal versus business content. So all the content shared in the enterprise with the enterprise Copilot is going to remain private to the enterprise. It's not going to be shared, so that's clear.
Exactly.
And for pricing, you mentioned that.
Thank you, Yusuf. But just to revisit this point, the personal versus business content, one of the use cases Linda showed us is creating a presentation out of human language. Today, I have my family pictures, photos on my laptop, and I have other folders for the business. Would it be a surprise to have my children photos somehow in a presentation if it was within the same context, or can I specify what folders, what files Copilot can access?
Yeah, thank you for this question. It's really important. Yeah, you need to know that when we are working with Copilot, you are the one who will provide the content for the AI. Okay, so the content will be specified by you. For example, if I want to create a PowerPoint presentation, I can specify the documents which I want this PowerPoint presentation to be conducted from. So you don't have to worry about this. So when conducting a presentation, for example, it will not scan all your files and all your documents and just create a presentation out of all the data that is available on your laptop. You can specify which documents and what content should be included in your presentation. But here I need to add something, that AI, even if we are working with Copilot and AI, you should always double check the content that is being available, because at the end of the day, you are the one who has the content, and you are the one that that are aware what needs to be included So we may have some mistakes, we may have faced some wrong data that was added in a presentation, but of course this will not be shared to everyone. You can double check it before exposing it to other employees or other end customers.
And it learns on the go. So if I correct
Yeah,
something,
it
it
learns
will
on
not
your
happen again.
data. Yeah,
Okay.
this is what's important. It learns on your organizational data.
Okay. What about the pricing? You said that it's an add-on on Microsoft E3, E5 Business Premium and
Standard
Business
and premium.
Standard. Okay. What's
Correct.
the is it exposed to the public, the pricing?
As far as what I saw, Microsoft Copilot license will be around $30 per user
A month.
a month.
Okay. Thank you, Linda. No more questions from my end.
You're welcome. Yusuf, do we have additional questions in the chat?
In the chat, that's it. I don't know if anyone else has any questions here. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question, please.
Okay, so I guess this is it. Thank you all for listening to this part of the webinar. Now I'll leave the stage to Yusuf, who will be discussing Azure Open AI. Thank you all.